So I'm stronger as a team, which is what sports are generally speaking, even though there's individual sports.
Right.
And then there's a combative component to it that allows them to survive or win, and people are connecting to that.
There's a strong draw to combatives, like just within humans.
Yeah, because people generally gravitate toward violence. They like violence. They don't like violence out of context. They don't like violence that doesn't fit. They don't like violence against innocent people. They don't like violence against children. They don't. But as a general rule of thumb, people will go out of their way to watch, to pursue, to track violence.
Right.
Because again, it's survival related, right? Because
Yeah.
if you're capable of violence in the right circumstance, you will live and that other person won't.
And this is another great thing about jiu-jitsu, because it's a struggle, right? There's constant resistance and struggle.
Yep.
You're used to dealing with that, and it makes your mind strong because you're used to dealing with these challenges and, like you said, problem solving, right? So same thing here. If people get used to force encounters, it's going to be great. The problem is nobody wants to do that. They don't want to get hit with ammunition. They don't want to get hit with a shock knife. They don't want to be tased or OC'd. The ones that do it always come
training value
back.
of those tools is unbelievable.
Is an inanimate object. You have to do all of these things with a gun. You have to have a magazine. You have to load rounds into it. You have to insert it into the mag well. You have to cycle the slide and get the round in the chamber. You have to align your sights. You have to press the trigger when your sights are aligned. There are so many things that have to go on first, but all that stuff is done by your brain. And so, the gun alone is nothing. The car alone is nothing. You think of your brain kind of as an operating system, right? And that's what we want. We want this operating system functioning at a high level, and we want to condition the operating system first. And then the hard skills are basically the tools that are provided. So for us, that comes second. The first is the brain and the mindset and utilizing it, because you don't always have the actual tools that you may need in a situation. So a lot of impromptu stuff occurs in protection when you're in a foreign country and you're dealing with high stress situation.
I mean, that's what training is. It's insurance for your family.
It's exactly what it is. And we use that analogy all the time. Hey, look, this is just an insurance policy. In case this thing happens, we're covered. We're ready to go. But you're also rewiring people's minds. Like we talked about the recognition prime decision-making stuff from Klein. You see things differently. And everything is affected by that.
One of the ideas that these guys had is that they're going to poke eyes out and rip ears off and do all this stuff. And when you ask them, like, how many guys have you done that to? It's zero. They've never done the thing that they think they're going to do to somebody. And in reality, no matter what it is, whether it's shooting or fighting with your fist, unless you do it and you do it ad nauseum regularly, and unless you make it very simple, basic techniques that you're just replicating under different conditions, it's not real. And so that was proven over and over and over again with him.
And as someone that's been around, involved in a lot of older martial arts before, and then you've done Jiu Jitsu and Muay Thai and all this stuff now, what are some useful tips, I guess you'd say, or useful arts to get into in regards to self-defense?
People don't like my answer because it's not sexy. I think you need very simple techniques. I think you need to do a lot of reps of very simple techniques that are proven. I think you need to be able to do it with clothes on, without clothes on. I think you need to be able to do it with weapons, without weapons, with gear on, without gear on. I think you need to be able to do it in the dirt, on rocks, on ice, in the snow, on the side of a hill, under a car, inside a car, on the hood of a car.
You've come across quite a few interesting things.
Violence that you see there is very different than the violence that you see here. On one of my last trips to South Africa, we were dealing with a very high net worth person, and we were advancing a second.
Sure.
In doing that, all of a sudden we hear this lady screaming, and I'm with a special forces guy from South Africa, and he's like, let's just pop in this corner, this little alcove, and we can kind of see out, but we're not in the line of fire. This guy goes running past us, and he had a machete in his hand, and he had seen a lady outside eating, with her friends, and she had a nice big rock on her finger. And he went up with the machete, boom, chops off the hand, grabs the hand, goes out and takes off. So, that kind of stuff we don't see so much here. That's very specific to that kind of region there. That'll let you know how good it is here comparatively.
Yeah, we have it really good here.
So as you know, the guys on the ground in real time who are vetted, who you trust, those are your most important players. So we're trying to forecast and predict and look at the information that we have available to us. But in reality, that trained up person who's there, and I'll just give you an example, like for us, Mexico is a big area of operations, super violent, kidnappings are through the roof there. It surpassed several years ago Colombia for kidnappings, and outside of a proper war zone, it's a violent place, and we're doing tons of business there.